Đình Tuấn xin hân hạnh đến với quý vị cùng chương trình FBNC Câu chuyện bất động sản. Thưa quý vị, trong số phát sóng ngày hôm nay, chúng ta sẽ cùng thảo luận về chủ đề tiến trình đô thị hóa và sức hấp dẫn của thị trường bất động sản Việt Nam. Xin mời quý vị cùng Đình Tuấn gặp gỡ hai vị khách mời đặc biệt, Mr. Alex Law, trưởng đại diện của SPCTA Việt Nam, và ông Lawrence Pear, tổng giám đốc của Wocoland Việt Nam. Trong số này, chúng ta sẽ cùng thảo luận về 3 nội dung chính sau đây: tiến trình đô thị hóa, sức hấp dẫn của thị trường bất động sản Việt Nam, đầu tư nước ngoài vào ngành bất động sản Việt Nam. Chào mừng quý vị đến với phần 1 của chương trình FBNC Câu chuyện bất động sản. Trong phần 1, chúng ta sẽ cùng thảo luận về tiến trình đô thị hóa. Hi, Mr. Lawrence.
Hello.
How did the urbanization process change the image of Singapore?
Well, urbanization process will change the landscape of any country, not just Singapore. It involves not just development, economic development, but also involves social development. Yeah, so there are a lot of changes that is accompanied by urbanization, the topic that we are discussing today.
Yeah. We know that the urbanization rate of Singapore is about 100%. So what are the drivers that drive the development of real estate market in Singapore?
Okay, in terms of the drivers of urbanization, I think first and foremost, these are the key ones: economic development, population growth, and the need for modern infrastructure and facilities. All these come together, creates the demand for urbanization, for facilities to be well planned, for people to be able to live, play. All this has to come together. This is urbanization.
Yeah. The development of urbanization will drive the market, real estate market. But seems like real estate market in Singapore is so well developed. So what will drive it? Is it the demand, the real demand to drive it? Or?
Okay, underlying demand is very important. Young couples, when they get married, they need new homes to set up their own families. And also upgraders. In Singapore, upgraders is a very major market. People with aspirations, young couples who have come out and worked for a few years, and they like to upgrade to a better home, a better unit, a better neighborhood. All these are various drivers that contribute to the urbanization of Singapore as a city.
Alex, about urbanization, so what is the role of urbanization in the forming, in the real estate market in general, or in Malaysia in particular?
Well, in general, urbanization in the Malaysian experience was as a result of when the rural people migrated towards the cities. If you look at Malaysia, we also moved from an agrarian background towards an export-led type economy, where manufacturing was the key driver and key sector of the economy. You have manufacturing, you have factories being located in some of the urban areas. Then the urbanization process began. It's a very typical type urbanization process experience in Malaysia. But as we went on typically to other developing nation status, we got foreign experts to help us out. They told us that as you urbanize, you've got to make sure that, it has to be, in today's language, it has to be sustainable type urbanization. So we started working on infrastructure in the Malaysian experience. And if you visited Malaysia, one of the key things that was a key urbanization landmark, if you may, is the North-South Highway. When we opened the North-South Highway, we created a major plus point for our transportation link. And then it became the trunk of the whole nation. Okay, so and then from there, other cities sprout out within the Klang Valley in the center, Johor Bahru in the south, and then Penang in the north. So that was key elements of urbanization. Yeah.
So what are lessons should we learn from the urbanization process, particularly from Malaysia experience?
Again, I think planning is a very key element in as you try to urbanize a nation. You've got to understand your whole own demographics, and then from there you want to look at Ho Chi Minh City, for instance. You have close to 10 million, I think, at this point in time. This kind of demographic would require drainage systems. You would require road links, will require good rail links. You have to plan to be able to get all those things up in place. And mind you, the Ho Chi Minh experience is that I think you're doing 28% migration rate a year, you know. So we're talking about significant number of people coming in each year. And so all these things must be put in place. The lesson that you get from the Malaysian experience would be the importance of infrastructure to be put in place. Good planning to put it in place. Political will to make sure that it's implemented. You may have a good planning, but if you don't have the political will to get it implemented, it'll be an issue also. So I think also, like you see the Singapore experience, political will is very, very strong. You want something, it is really done. You know.
So you mean the government role is very important for urbanization?
I think government plays a very critical role in terms of the big picture. Both Lawrence and me, we are contributing, and we hope we are contributing positively to the urbanization process in Vietnam. We played a micro role. Like in Sethier's experience, we bring in the real estate that is well master planned, real estate with full of amenities. We bring in the lifestyle. Your government has told us, okay, where is it you're going to urbanize? Where is it the new townships are going to come? We bring in these micro levels, you know, creating lifestyles, wealth, and employment. That's what we do, you know.
Lawrence, we know that urbanization can create some of the problems about security, about infrastructure, economic infrastructure, or about development infrastructure. So how does Singapore government deal with this issue?
My comment would actually very much akin to what Alex have shared. There will be issues because urbanization is not just simply building something, city and having people. As long as you involve population move, there is social implication. Population who are used to staying in a, let's say, more rural setting, when they have to move to an urban so-called setup, for example, a concrete jungle, some people would say, you know, and if it is not well planned in terms of social adaptation and integration, there will be problems. People can't get used to, from a rural area, they can't get used to living in a city, etc., congestion, space. Following what Alex have shared, I think what we are thinking here is that with the government's overall master planning, for example, the example that we can give is Bình Dương, no? Something that is very good. The government has planned certain areas and they brought in developers like ourselves, Setia and GrowCoLand, and give us a very specific guideline in certain areas to build up those facilities, a hub, a township. Then together they will form a so-called a township, a city, to bring in to introduce another lifestyle for the people, so that it will become a lively satellite, etc., satellite town. Of course, when people move in, that's where the social issues will come. But of course, with good planning, street lighting, proper communication, proper traffic, all these social issues will be so-called mitigated. As your question alluded to, is Singapore. Singapore, I think we are very far down the road in terms of urbanization. Transport is working and everything else. So, social problem therefore is managed along the way.
So, how do you think about the urbanization rate of Vietnam and the urbanization process of Vietnam currently, Alex?
Then I think Vietnam is urbanizing at the fastest rate within the ASEAN region, and that's understandably so. I mean, you are moving from a GDP of about maybe 90-some billion, per capita of about 1,000. Your neighbors, Singapore, is in the tens. We are in the high single digit. Urbanization in Vietnam will continue to be in the two key cities of Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. I think the numbers are very, it's not small. I think, like I say, if you do, I believe you're doing, the latest UN report is about 28%, you know. And I think by 2010, 2015, you have 50% of your population in urban centers. So you're talking about 40 million people within urban centers, you know. So what do we think? We think, for us as developers, we think those are opportunities because as people transmigrate from rural to urban, there'll be housing requirements. And we in SP Setia, we are very specialized in that particular area. In the Johor experience, we have many people migrating from the northern states to work to Johor Bahru and work in Singapore. And we build lovely townships for them. We cater for them. We cater for schools and supermarkets for them. So it is this same kind of experience that we hope to bring here. Same thing exactly in Binh Nhung, what Lawrence said. Binh Nhung is a clear example. A province that has got a very high industrialization rate. Binh Nhung moved from agricultural dependent type province, double-digit contribution to the GDP of Binh Nhung, to now, I think, very low double-digit or if not single-digit, where industries become a key element in their component of economy. We feel that same thing, exactly the same. Some provinces industrialize a lot, urbanization come in, and then we bring in the expertise towards the creating homes for people.
With the plan of Vietnam building the MRT, you know, the mass rapid transportation, so since Vietnam is moving in the right direction, so how do you think about what Vietnam have achieved or what we have not achieved in the process of urbanization?
I came 3-4 years ago, and then you look at your East-West Highway. I think it's a transformational infrastructure project for Vietnam. You open East-West Highway as part of your urbanization process. You open up District 8, you open up District 5, you open up 10 and 12. This is a tremendous achievement by the Vietnamese government in doing that highway. But now it feels so good to see, to see you people enjoying it. We went through a lot of crises, 2 crises already since I came here 2 years ago. 07, 08, we had interest rates go up so high. The bubble, there was a pressure on the interest rates here. Of course, we had a global financial crisis, 08, 09. Of course, this affects your government's implementation of the urban facilities that they want to create. We, of course, would like to see stronger political will to create and implement those planned amenities and infrastructure for the country.
Thank you. Thưa quý vị, bây giờ chúng ta tạm dừng cuộc trò chuyện này trong ít phút trước khi chúng ta bước sang phần 2 của chương trình.